Hello, everyone. I'm coming to you very raw and very emotional and very devastated today because we learned last week that my very worst fear it was coming true. The land that this farm stands on that I have been at for 20 years and we have served thousands of people in the community is being sold. And when I tell you that for 20 years now, have woke up in the morning with this thought in my head and gone to sleep with this thought in my head, this fear, this constant nagging fear that no matter how much the landlords tried to reassure me that that would never happen, I knew that it absolutely could, and it could at any moment. So much farmland has been lost in my area since the pandemic because we became one of those hot destination cities for everyone to move out of big cities and come to during the pandemic. And the growth has been so exponential that we really don't know what to do within the city. My farm is one of the last small horse farms that's open to the public, that is in the city proper. So people who don't have the means to be able to drive 40 minutes, an hour outside of the city to reach a farm are able to come here. We have a large staff. We have hundreds of people that come through and find peace in a very chaotic world and spend time with our herd, whether through riding lessons or workshops or doing what we call respite sessions where people come and we are outside with the horses. But we have hundreds of people each week that come through and do this. I didn't think that I would be able to write anything. We've hit the ground running. We've raised amazing amounts of funds, to make a bid for this place. And if we can't do that, then, we will absolutely, find another farm. It's not going to be near the location that we're in, but we're raising funds to buy farmland and save it from development by putting it into a conservation easement. So I'm going to read to you this week's post, but most of what is in this week's post is ways that you can help. And also, I am just copy pasting what Tamar Reno put out into the world this morning, because Thursday mornings is when I write to you guys and I read to you guys. And this morning, I had nothing. We have had news crews. We have had news helicopters circling. We have had some amazing coverage. We have raised $19,000 in less than 6 days. And our goal is to raise $2 million. That would hopefully maybe buy us a seat at the table, bargaining to see if we can get this land. But 1.6 million would 100% give us access to a working farm that we can move in tomorrow, that we can save from future development because we are losing way too many farms. I'm going to quit babbling now. I'm going to read to you what is going out in Stable Roots this week. But I ask you, spread the word, let people know. It's not just myself that's affected by this land. It's all of the neighbors. It is a testament to everything that every farm is having to experience right now. Trying to stay alive in a world of rising costs. And having people make offers on the land and eventually you get offered so much you say yes. But I don't have kids. I don't have anything that I need to leave when I am no longer in this world, except for my legacy. And my legacy is this farm. And so many people have said that Bramblewood Stables is not just, it is not a place. And we have had other locations before here. This place has been our home, and it's not just my home. It's home to hundreds of people, thousands over the course of the time that this land has been a publicly operating horse farm. It's been that way since the 1970s. We give access to horses to people who would not ordinarily be able to afford them. And we also do a lot of healing work here. We have tons of volunteers. We have a big staff. And everyone is heartbroken. So I'm going to read to you what I have this week. But all I ask is that if you cannot give, then spread the word. If you can give, please do. And any amount matters. This is the only way that we're going to get through this. And Tamar says this so eloquently, and I'm going to be reading it in just a few minutes. The only way that we're going to get through this and to thrive is together. And I had said to her once, let me be your village. And the way that I have been supported by other people being our village when I'm trying to get my head straight and be able to steer us forward, feeling like my heart has been ripped out. I would not be able to do this without the community, without the village that's around us. So here we go. And in the show notes, you will find links to the news stories. You'll find links to our GoFundMe. And all I ask is that you tell everyone you know, wherever you are in the world, because farmland disappearing is not just a problem in upstate South Carolina. It's happening everywhere. So you could, with just the tiniest donation, anywhere in the world, you guys could help us be able to secure enough money to be able to, if not get this land and protect it, to get another farm and protect it. A last chance to save Bramblewood Stables. The land we're standing on is being sold, and we have one shot to protect 90 acres forever. I learned last Thursday afternoon that the ground that Bramblewood Stables has called home for 20 years will be sold to developers. This farm has been continually operated as a public riding stable for more than 50 years. Before that, it was farmland. We need your help to save it. Our fundraising is growing steadily by the hour. Follow Save Bramblewood Stables on GoFundMe for daily updates. Tell people about what is happening to this historic community treasure. Spread the word far and wide. Watch the coverage of our story on Fox Carolina News, and watch the coverage of our story on WYFF News 4. The news crews have gone out of their way holding our story in careful hands and spending hours and hours with us, returning to broadcast live in all the news spots while their helicopters circle overhead, videoing the views our protected birds see as they circle the haven of these old-growth forests. The farm has a way of delivering exactly what's needed at exactly the right moment. It's not in some mystical wish upon a star kind of way. It's more like it knows what cards are in play and slides the right one across the table when I'm down to my last move. One day I'll trust it. Until then, I keep a tally of these moments, like when I throw hay without counting and end up with exactly the number of flakes I need. Maybe it's timing, maybe it's instinct. Maybe it doesn't matter as long as I find the opening instead of running headlong into a locked door. I'm a Scorpio. I don't do optimism. Hope, to me, is good music at a funeral. The reason we're gathered might break you, but at least the atmosphere is right. Hope is finding a way out of darkness. Hope is also a village. I woke up this morning a wreck from learning the news about losing the farm and fully immersed in my sadness, and kind of for the first time since the news really hit me. I didn't know what to write and send out to you all today, but I didn't have to write because Tamar Reno, my village, wrote for me. These are her words. As you may have gleaned by now, my grandson Jesse has come to live here at Bear Creek Farm full-time. It was maybe going to happen, then it wasn't going to happen, then it suddenly happened. Back when it was maybe going to happen, I had a conversation with Kimberly Carter. Bring him here, she said. Let your village hold you up. So throughout the hottest weeks of the summer, Jesse did an internship at Bramblewood Stables, working, growing, learning, and horsing around under the loving guidance of Brandon Lewis and the rest of the Bramblewood family. I'd drop him off in the morning, knowing he was safe in all the ways we hope our loved ones are safe, and then go up to the farmhouse to drink coffee with Kim. I'd pick him up at the end of the day. He'd be dirty and tired and full of newfound wisdom, which he'd tell me about on the drive home. Do you know that horses can show you what it's like to be in quicksand? Jessie said on one of those drives home. Like all the ways you're stuck, horses will show you that and then stand there while you figure it out. Now that school has started and Jesse is at the top of his helmet in football, the weekly trips to Bramblewood have stopped, for now. Once football season winds down, he'll be going back for lessons that start with respite. In a world gone mad, we all need some respite. We could all benefit from some horses showing us where we're stuck and then quietly waiting while we figure it out. People say things like it takes a village without really thinking it through. Some people say, let us be your village. That's Bramblewood, and now it needs all of us. The farm sits on leased land that has been a horse farm for 50-odd years. Now the owners want to sell, to the highest bidder. The highest bidders are usually, as in almost always, developers. Developers have been gobbling up farmland at an alarming rate. Our green spaces are disappearing. Poof. There are horses buried at Bramblewood, and horses living at Bramblewood, and horses at Bramblewood helping people find their way out of quicksand. It's the last public barn in the area. There are trees on that land that predate the settlers. That land has held the Bramblewood family in its loving embrace since before Jessie was alive. Bramblewood needs its village, and more than that, it needs its village to grow. Kim is hoping to raise enough funds to outbid the robber barons and put this land in a conservation easement. In case you don't know what that means, a conservation easement is a legal agreement that permanently limits uses of the land in order to protect its conservation values. It would mean the land under Bramblewood would be protected in perpetuity. So what can we do to help? 1, we can donate to the GoFundMe link if we're able. Any amount, big or small, helps. If you have other means of raising funds, please don't be quiet about it. Share the link in the GoFundMe and do it more than once. 2, we can share this story till the cows come home. I've shared several posts, including news coverage, and Kim has posted a lot. Hit the share button, write a post of your own, comment, and click on love on the post, the little hearts, because that helps drive traffic. Send it to any big names you think you might know that could help. Tag people. 3, be the village. Send love and encouragement and ideas. A wing and a prayer if that's all you've got. I don't mean to trivialize that. There's power in collective intention. Love moves mountains. If this doesn't pan out, Bramblewood will still need funds to relocate, although it's unlikely that they'll be able to relocate as close to the city as they are now, which would be a crying shame. Bramblewood's proximity to Greenville means that people who otherwise wouldn't have access to horses do have access. This matters. I could write a whole post about how mightily white the horse world is and why that's a problem. Maybe I will. Yeah, I probably will. For now, I'm going to ask you to do what you can, whatever you can, maybe even more than you think you can. There are other folks mired in their own quicksand who need the village of Bramblewood to hold space for them as they figure their way out. Love and light, y'all, always. Tamar, Reno. I can never thank Tamar enough for being words for me where I can find none this week. She has delivered in being that village in so many ways, and not just in this horrible situation, but she is that person who shows up. She is that person who rallies her community, and I am so fortunate to be a part of her community. And her Bear Creek farm is in North Carolina, right across the border, in one of the hardest hit places of Hurricane Helene. So we're almost a year out from this area recovering from that. You know, we still have a lot of those old growth trees are still lying everywhere across the land that we're on. So the land is still trying to heal. And as Tamar always says, and for so many different situations, that healing can't occur while trauma is still unfolding. And that is not just for us in our situation, but that is for so many of you who are caught in quicksand. And we need open spaces, and we need green spaces, and we need nature, and we need each other to get through these things. Hope is also learning when to let go. Last week, before everything shifted, I was writing about rhythm and caretaking. I'd already recorded the piece when I made the decision, with our vet's solemn confirmation, to let Lady, our little black pony, go. What started as a routine colic spiraled into a week of midnight checks, medicine syringes, and the small calculations of comfort. Horses don't answer in words. They answer in trembling legs, ears pinned to the skull, the turn of a body away from grain. Faith and biology meet in these moments. And if you want to find the exact spot where they shake hands, you should stand in a barn. Lady's last days were spent in a rare midsummer rain, half hidden under cedar boughs. The vet told me, pick a good day. She's telling us she's ready when you are. Let her go while she's still happy. The horses always know when to move forward, even when I'm not ready. Hope is also facing my worst fears. A few days after Lady's passing, last Thursday afternoon, the timing changed again. We learned Bramblewood, the land that Bramblewood Stables stands on, is being sold. We have one chance to raise $2 million to buy it, lock all 90 acres under a permanent conservation easement, and keep this land wild, intact, and open to the people who need it most. Since 2017, Greenville County in South Carolina has lost over 13,000 acres of farmland. That's an 11% drop in just 8 years. Across South Carolina, we've lost 280,000 acres since 2001, making us one of the 10 most threatened states for farmland loss. Every acre scraped under concrete is one that never comes back. My farm is the last public horse farm that's close to this city. Without this land, the bridge we've built between horses and people from every background collapses. Our story is spreading. On Wednesday, Fox Carolina came. They filmed the pastures, the horses, the work. On Thursday, I heard the chop of rotor blades over the treetops before I could find it. The news helicopter circled, hovering above the arena and tracing the edge of our woods. From above, they would have seen what I see every day, the last quilt of paddocks holding their ground against the grid of development. WYFF News Force spent the next day here. They interviewed us in the barn, filmed the herds in the fields, and then came back for live broadcast at 4, 5, and 6 p.m. It's beautiful, and it's devastating. People don't circle a place like this unless it's in danger. What happens if we reach our goal? We will have 90 acres preserved forever. It can never be developed. It will keep Bramblewood open as the last public horse farm this close to the city. We will expand our programs and partner with schools, therapists, and community groups to make horses accessible to anyone. We will continue to offer retired horses meaningful work at the end of their lives. And we will protect a stretch of hardwood forest along the Enoree River as a living wildlife corridor. Search for Save Bramblewood Stables, Help Us Secure a Forever Home on GoFundMe. Donate if you can. Share the news pieces with anyone who understands what's at stake. Educate the public about what's happening. Hope may make good funeral music, but it sounds better when we get to keep the thing we thought we'd lost. We're not ready to play the last song for Bramblewood Stables and the land that it's on just yet. We need your help. Let's fight this and keep our farm community safe in a permanently preserved home. Love, Kim.